What is going on, guys? Welcome to another video on this channel. First of all, thank you so much that you decided to click on this video. It means the world to me. If you are new here, I am Michael, and this channel is built on one single foundation, and that is to help you become the best version of yourself. So if that sounds good to you, keep watching, man. So today I want to talk about the reason why men stop dating and why men are scared of relationships in general. So straight into it, guys, the reason is that men have unrealistic expectations about women due to watching too much dirty websites and fapping too much. Because when you're watching too much of those dirty websites, right, you will start to have unrealistic expectations about women, right? Because you see all these, super, models, right? And those are just models, right? Real girls, vast majority of girls, they are not looking like that, right? They are not, models, and you start, again, as I said, you start to have unrealistic expectations and your mind will be twisted. Because you might meet a girl on the street, right? And she's looking very attractive, right? But you just don't see that, right? Because you're just consuming too much of that content, right? Of that bad content. And right now your mind is twisted, right? And you have unrealistic expectations when it comes to women, right? So the vast majority of men, that women, right, is looking very attractive, right? But to you, she's looking like, she's not even that sexy, right? She doesn't have that, that hourglass shape, right? And because of those unrealistic expectations, right, you will miss the chance, right? You will not go out there, right, and ask the girl on a date, right? You will not do that because your mind is telling you that, that girl is just, below average, and your standard, is a model from the, adult movie, right? That girl, with hourglass shape, right, with like a, fantasy body, right? And those girls, they are not real, right? It's like, 1 out of 10,000 girls, right? Girls in the real world, they look completely different, right? And as I said, to vast majority of men, that girl will look sexy, right? Because they are not consuming that much content as you do, right? Or they are not watching porn at all, right? But you do, right? You're watching, you're binge watching that adult movie content, right? You're binge watching those dirty websites, right? And again, your mind is twisted, so you don't see that the girl, in reality, she is sexy, she's very attractive. And another reason why men just don't want to date women anymore is simply because they don't have that masculine energy, right? They're not confident in themselves. And again, guys, I'm sorry saying this, but the cause is watching too much dirty websites, right? And fapping too much. Because you know that when you do that, right, think to yourself, and you watch those, adult movies, in a moment, right, you feel like you're in heaven, right? You feel, oh my God, this is so good, right? But after you do that, right, after, a few seconds, right, you feel, how you feel, right? Tell me how you feel. You feel guilty, you feel bad about yourself, you feel like you're not good enough, right? You feel like, I'm worthless, right? But the biggest problem when you're watching those sites, right, and you are doing that thing yourself, that the more you do it, right, the more you will get caught up in a trap, right? Like a hamster in a wheel. The more the hamster runs, the more the wheel spins, right? So the more the hamster needs to run, right? So like you will get so freaking caught up in that. Because the more you do it, the more your brain wants, right? You might do it, that thing yourself once and watch those dirty websites once, right? And your brain releases dopamine, right? It's logical, right? Because when you do it, you feel like you're in heaven, right? And then again, after that, you feel guilty. And right now, today, to get that same stimulation, right, from your brain, to get that same dopamine level, your brain is used to that. So you need to do more. Instead of one fap and one movie, you need to fap twice and watch 2 movies. But the problem is that, again, as I said, the more you do it, the more your brain wants. But again, the more you do that thing and the more you watch that thing, right, you start, slowly but surely get addicted to that, right? And you will start to feel bad about yourself, right? You will feel like, oh my God, like I would love to stop, but like I can't, right? you will start to feel guilty, worthless. You will start to lose your motivation, your drive, your goals, right? And thus you will be less confident. And again, you will see women differently, and you will just no longer want to date girls, right? Because you have this, whole online thing, right? Yes, there is an option, right? You can go out there, meet a real women, right? And date them, right? But the problem is, right, that you will get a girlfriend maybe, right? And you will have, let's say, one action a day, right? But on the online thing, right, you will, type few words, right? And instead of one action with the same girl, right, a day, you can have, 10, 15, 20 different girlfriends a day, right? So what's easier? Of course, the option B, right? Have a 15 or 20 different girlfriends, right? But the problem is that they are just pixels on a screen, right? You are doing that thing to yourself and watching people having sex, right? On a screen, they are just a tiny little pixels. It's not real, but you don't see that, right? You are too heavily addicted. Again, as I said, you are too caught up in that trap. You are caught up in the hamster wheel, but you just don't see that the real world, right? Having one, we will call it the action with a real girl is a lot better because it's real. The option B, yes, it's easier, right? You don't need to, push yourself outside your comfort zone, right? You don't need to have that confidence, right? You don't need to have those real expectations of women. No, you don't need any of that, right? You can, type few words and watch these movies, right? Have 15 or 25 different girlfriends. And yes, that's easier. But the thing is that it's not worth it. In the long term, it will hurt you like crazy. Because guys, I've been there. I was heavy, and I mean heavy addicted to that thing, right? To doing that thing to myself and watch these dirty websites. But the thing is that basically, I believe, in God, right? And I believe that God, did this thing to me because he just wanted me to stop doing that, right? And you can call it a coincidence, right? I don't call it a coincidence. I think that it was a purpose, right? It was a way of my life. But somebody just wanted me to stop doing that so I can get on the right path and start doing right things. I know I talk about this in my 1-year transformation NoFap, right? If you haven't seen it, go watch it. So you will get more information, right? But shortly guys, I was heavy addicted to fapping again. And I was that person that I am talking about this right now, right? I was not confident, I was not happy, I was shy. I had unrealistic expectations about women. But one day I was doing that thing, right, to myself, and I was watching these dirty websites. And then a while after that, I felt weird pain, down there, where. And I was like, oh my God, like this is not good, right? Like, I don't feel like this thing down there, right, when I do that normally. So I went to a doctor and he diagnosed me with I still don't know how to call it, right? It's basically called like something along these lines, varicocele, varicocele, I don't know how to call it, I'm sorry, but it's basically enlargement of veins in your down there. And they at that time I was pissed, I was very mad at myself, I was angry, AF, that I did this thing to myself, because this thing can cause some problems with fertility and all these bad stuff. It can decrease produce of your semen down there, because you have enlarged veins. As I said, I was so pissed at myself. I was so angry, right? Because I basically caused this problem, right? I was the cause, I did this thing to myself, And in NoFap community, this is called cold turkey, right? And it's basically when you stop fapping overnight, right? From one day to another, and you will stop, no longer, not a single second wasted, right? And this is the hardest thing to do, right? This is the hardest path to take. So guys, if you want to stop fapping, don't do this. Like, if you are not forced to do that like me, I was forced to take the cold turkey approach. Don't do that, because it's so hard. Because it's same like getting off of the drug addiction, right? you can't, stop taking drugs overnight. You need to go, slowly decrease the amount you take until you take none, right? And it's same with NoFap, right? Because it's an addiction, right? You are addicted, right? Your brain is, fucked up, right? You just need to slowly but surely, dig your way up, right? You need to slowly decrease the amount of, those dirty websites, and, you need to decrease the, fapping part, right? But some people like me, I was just forced to take that cold turkey approach, right? To just stop fapping overnight, because that thing happened to myself. But again, guys, this is just a short summary. And guys, if you're watching this and you are still doing that thing to yourself, right? You are still fapping and you are still watching those dirty websites, right? Please, I am begging you, stop doing that. It's not worth it. In the long term, it will hurt you, not only physically, because you can maybe get an erectile dysfunction from that, right? From doing that thing too much, but it will hurt you more like emotionally and mentally, because your mind will be so twisted, right? You will have unrealistic expectations when it comes to women, right? Because that girl, it might look sexy and attractive, but you just somehow don't see that, because your mind is so caught up in that porn addiction, right? And you will be less confident, you will be shy, you will feel like, you know what about yourself, right? You will feel that you are worthless. So I would highly recommend you guys to watch my 1-year transformation video, because in that video, I'm talking about all those crazy benefits that I've gained from doing NoFap, and how it completely changed my entire life, and how it can impact your life in a positive way. So to sum up all of this, guys, if you are scared of relationships, right? If you are scared of dating women, right? Going out there and talking to women, you need to cure that one addiction, right? Watching those movies and doing that thing to yourself, right? And please, guys, again, please don't take that cold turkey approach, right? If you don't need to. Go slowly but surely, right? And you will see that after you do that, right? After you stop doing those things, you will experience all those crazy benefits that all of the guys are talking about, right? Like more confidence, having real expectations when it comes to women, being, happy, being proud of yourself, being motivated, and etc. And that is for this video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this one. If you did, smash the thumbs up button. Also, comment down below where you're from, because I'm curious my audience is from. If you feel generous, click the subscribe button. Also, click the bell right next to it so you'll never miss any video from me. Stay relentless.